A young boy, only almost 2 years old, adopted from Russia, died 3 months after getting to the United States. His father strapped him into the car seat and went about his day, forgetting that he was still in the back seat and forgot to drop him off at daycare. One of the father's co-workers noticed the little boy's body in the back seat 9 hours later. I'm here to talk to you about the ban on adopting Russian children for U.S. citizens. It's important to know what's going on and how one's actions can enact such change in our country and how it affects our relationships with other countries. Having a close friend adopted from Russia, I personally feel connected to this particular topic. The first point that I'm going to discuss is the reason for the Demyan-Yevgenyuk law, followed by the effects of the law in relation to the adoption since then and the possibility of getting it lifted. The law was put in place as retaliation towards U.S. government. First, many think the law was put in place simply because of what happened to the young boy who died. However, it was a possible retaliation of the Russian government towards the Magnitsky Act, which banned selected Russian officials charged with human rights abuses for entering and withholding assets in the United States. Harper Nedig wrote an article in 2016 about the fight on the adoption ban and included, Russia implemented the ban in 2013 in retaliation for Congress passing a law to ban mob-linked Russian officials from entering the U.S. Some questions whether it legitimately aims to protect children or if it is simply an act of political aggression towards the United States. This is not to say this is the only reason for the law, but it is a contributing factor. The Demyan-Yevgenyuk law drastically impacted the number of children adopted from Russian orphanages. The United States has been a global leader in international adoptions. Shea Vidal includes the immediate impact of the laws in 2015 and says, 46 Russian children whose adoptions by American parents was nearly completed were blocked from leaving the country. There were an estimated 200 to 250 sets of parents who were affected after they had already identified their children they planned to adopt. Additionally, the impact not only affects the families trying to adopt, but also the children and the quality of their lives. Most recently, there's been talk of getting the law lifted. Harper Nedig wrote this past summer of how a Republican lawmaker wants the Obama administration to fight the ban. Republican Doug Collins said, what we've done in trying to get that lifted is something that we're going to continue to fight for. Because at the end of the day, it's about the children and having loving homes and parents who want to nurture and care and be a part of their lives. Additionally, there has not been much progress, but there are people trying. I'm going to share a quote I retrieved from Huffington Post on October 4th by John Simmons. Russia is just now putting into place welfare and foster care systems to deal with their orphan problem domestically. This, in reality, is a good thing, not a bad one. The challenge is adoptions to the United States are not being allowed to continue while the evolution of this new Russian social and welfare system moves forward. I'm afraid it will take longer than the Russians think it will. Still, when it is done, it will be good for Russia and her children.